Hello and welcome back to another Music Nugget. We have a microphone workaround tonight because there's a band playing Slade underneath us. But hopefully it's going to sound and look alright. Today is more composing with guitar stuff. And basically what I want to talk about is making your picking patterns more interesting with polyrhythms or cross rhythms. And the main thing we're going to look at here is fives. And we've done a little bit of this in the rhythm and groove lessons, but this is specifically focused on the guitar. So the first thing I want to talk about is learning to think in 5 whilst feeling a pulse that's moving in 4. Generally I try to, and it's something that takes a bit of practice, I try to think of it as you've got a pulse that's going 1, 2, 3, 4, but within that you have 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and you could think of that as just being 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 if you liked. And when I'm thinking of fives, that's the speed that I'm counting fives at, and it's what makes the syncopated parts between when it starts and when it begins to repeat again, is what makes them satisfying, is that you've got these little micrometers that have gaps in them. So the one that we looked at on the rhythm and groove module was the 1 and the 3 of little tiny fives. So you're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So my hand at the moment is going in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but you're trying to think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, and it comes back after 5 of your hand taps. Because 5 times 4 or 4 times 5, you've got 20 sixteenths in there. Sorry, it's hard to keep up with. So yeah, if you can think of those fives as floating over the pulse and still manage to maintain the pulse, it means that one part of your body could kind of forget about that and just maintain that pulse whilst you play patterns, variations on those fives over the top. So the one that we looked at in the rhythm and groove one was, I think it was this chord, and it was going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's the 1 and the 3 of the 5. But when you put the pulse underneath, you've got and that's it repeating again. So you can hear that it has a point where it's syncopated, feels imbalanced, and then it resolves around again. 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. I can't even say it and play it at the same time, but on the board here will hopefully help. I'm going to do a different thing now. I'm going to do 1, 3, and 5 of the fives. So hopefully this, I try to think of it like a grid system, because I program these things a lot when I'm arranging or when I'm making my own music or just demoing for things. So I'm thinking in terms of my thumb is the top part, and that's just on the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, and the 5. And then you've got all the syncopations in between. So if I just move that on to a different chord, the 3 notes that I'm going to use, if you've got a pattern of 3 within the 5, so it's going 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. If you've got 3 notes repeating like that, then it makes sense to have 3 separate notes. So that it keeps you straight, if you like. So my notes are going to be nice and strange. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. And then the thumb is just going on that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I can possibly say this and play it at the same time. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. Almost. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. So close. The other way you can think about it is to think about 1E and a 2E and a 3E. But obviously that gets really confusing too. What I would recommend is that you just tap your foot where the pulse would be and try to repeat that 5. Now that you've got that, the sound of that, and also it's something that makes programming it really useful, you can actually see it and hear it before you try to learn it, so you know if it actually feels or sounds good. So I would get used to that pattern repeating. 1 3 5 1 3. Now the 1 and the 5 are going to be a lot closer together than all the other numbers because it immediately starts repeating after 5. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. And then it's a case of trying to introduce the pulse every 4. 1 3 5 1 3 5 1 3 5 1 3 5 1 3 5 1 3 5 1 3 5 1 3 5. And that's what feels good about it. It kind of sways on and off of that pulse. So if I just put the thumb on the bass notes and the fingers where those numbers are, the 1, the 3 and the 5, you end up with some kind of syncopated pattern that repeats in 5s. Like this. And then if you're in a band, you've seen us doing this in the Rhythm and Groove module already. If you're in a band, you can bring in a kick and snare pattern that does that. So you could have the likes of kick, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. But keep your hats where the thumb is on the pulse. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in a drum beat that does exactly that, and you'll see what I mean. I'll pair it up with the thumbs and the fingers. Get the impression. That all matches up perfectly and grooves nicely because you have elements of the drums that are in the same places where the fingers are syncopating. You could use any permutation of 5 for that too. So you could use exactly the same chords, or maybe we'll use some nice chords. So instead of, just to demonstrate with the same chords so that you have the same context. Instead of 1 3 5 1 3 5 1 3 5 1 3 5, it could just as easily be 1 2 4 1 2 4 1 2 4 1 2 4 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2. So you can hear that the 3 and the 5 are still there. They're just gaps. And then you put the thumb behind that and you have a different syncopation. It means you can build in variety if you use these tricks. So or you could just as easily, like I say, use nice chords. Ha. Edit that out. We'll go again. So yeah, you could just as easily use nice chords. And work it up to speed. This is one that I haven't practiced, so it's naturally a little bit clunky at the moment. So yeah, that's an introduction on polyrhythmic picking. We'll look at 7s and 9s and things like that in the future, but the principle's always the same. You're just picking out patterns with gaps from micrometers, 16th note meters of 5s or 7s or whatever you want, and try to maintain a quarter note pulse. Gives you all those cool syncopations. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks very much for watching.